All right, now to help make sense of why this war is suddenly again escalating, we're being joined by Dr. Glenn Deason, who's a professor of international relations at the University of Southeastern Norway. He's joining us on this broadcast live. Now, Professor Deason, the recent attack that has taken place where the Russians have carried out a strike on a facility that the Ukrainians are describing as a military educational facility, in which about 47 people are said to have died. Are we witnessing a sharp escalation here? Because this happens to be one of the biggest attacks that Russia has carried out in this manner.
Yeah, so this is very horrific, the casualty numbers. And I think this is also common what one sees towards the later stages of wars. This is a common phenomenon. And we see the same symptoms now that Ukraine and NATO is losing this war. And that is the symptom of growing casualties. So this is often caused by a weaker strategic position, lack of resources, disorganized leadership, can be collapse in morale. Overall, you see often a logistics breakdown. There's a lack of ammunition and manpower. You see then more people defect, surrender, reinforcements do not show up. And as a result, this only escalates. Front lines are broken, cauldrons are formed in which troops have to fall back in a disorganized manner, which allows the winning side to knock out the retreating forces. Also, I think when wars come to an end, there's usually more informants, which you see in this case as well, I think. That is people jumping ships as they're betting on the winning side. I don't have any evidence of this, but the intelligence and spy network of Russia appears to have improved. So I think this is quite common. And to add to it, I think Russia will be much less constrained now going forward, given that it sees itself under pressure to escalate as well in response to the invasion of Kursk and also NATO's willingness to attack Russia more and more directly.
Right, and also considering that the Russian President Vladimir Putin, of course, was in Mongolia, and considering the fact that he has an arrest warrant by the International Criminal Court, but he still was able to travel to a country that is a signatory to the International Criminal Court. What does it mean, when the International Criminal Court puts out an arrest warrant and that is simply not adhered to or implemented?
Well, it's quite significant, but it's important not to mix up the ICC with the ICJ. So this is effectively Mongolia ignoring an agreement which it has signed, and this I think shows that countries are effectively starting to bet on one horse, if you will, and it's an indication that the West's influence over these countries are reducing, and also they're preparing effectively for a Russian victory, and making sure that the relations with Russia is prioritized above that of the ICC. And you can also add that this is maybe more important for Mongolia even than other countries, given that they are locked between China and Russia as a landlocked country, and they definitely it's in their own national interest to have good relations with Russia.
All right, we'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Glenn Deason, for joining us and getting us that perspective there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.